All right, everybody, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the world of blockchain. And no, before you click away thinking this is just another Bitcoin breakdown, I'm talking about going way beyond that. We're talking about the potential of blockchain to change, well, pretty much everything.
It's a tech that gets thrown around a lot, gets kind of muddled up. So yeah, let's clear the air on that.
Love it. And to help us navigate this, we've got some awesome articles from Investopedia and Amazon Web Services. Ready to decode this expert speaker?
Let's do it. Break it down.
All right, so blockchain. What is it, really? When I hear blockchain, I think like a digital record of transactions, permanent, can't be messed with. Am I on the right track?
That's a really good way to visualize it. And the blockchain part, that comes from how those records, those blocks of info, are all linked together. Think of it like a chain, right? Each link is a block of data. Once a link is added, good luck changing it. Basically impossible.
Okay, that's starting to click. But
Yeah.
what makes this chain so secure? It's not just chilling on a server somewhere, is it?
Nope. One of the coolest things about blockchain is that it's decentralized. So instead of one big authority controlling everything like a bank, the information is spread across a whole network of computers.
So say one computer goes down, the whole system doesn't crash and burn.
Exactly. It's super resilient. And because it's not reliant on one single entity, you get this level of trust that you just don't see with the old ways of doing things.
And this trust element, this seems like a biggie. The AWS article mentioned this thing called consensus. What's that all about?
It's like a, digital agreement. Imagine you and me are part of this network. Before any transaction, let's just say you're selling some digital art, goes through, most of the network has to agree that it's legit.
So no one person or group is calling the shots. It's like everybody's got a say in making sure things are above board.
Exactly. Way harder to manipulate. And this is where we go beyond just Bitcoin, right? This trust, this transparency opens up so many possibilities, stuff most people wouldn't even think of.
Okay, see, now that's what I'm talking about. The Investopedia article had some really wild examples. Using blockchain to track food from the farm to your plate. How does that even work?
Oh, it's fascinating. IBM has this thing called Food Trust, and it uses a blockchain to keep tabs on food, basically. Yeah. Every step from where it's grown to how it's shipped, it's all recorded on this shared, unchangeable record.
Wait, so if there's like a contamination scare, investigators can just backtrack and see exactly where things went wrong. No more digging through files for weeks.
Precisely. It's about accountability and transparency in the food supply chain, which, frankly, we need.
I can see how that'd be game-changing, especially if, shoppers could see that information too. So how does this all work on a technical level? Because it sounds kind of complicated.
It's surprisingly elegant.
Yeah.
AWS breaks it down into 4 key steps.
Okay, I'm listening. Hit me with the tech stuff.
First up, you've got to record the transaction itself, right? Could be anything. Buying a house, voting in an election, even tracing back that coffee you're drinking.
So like a digital paper trail of sorts. Got it. Then what?
This is where that consensus we talked about kicks in. Remember, the network has to agree that the transaction is all good. Once that's settled, we get to the really cool part, linking the block. And this is where hashing comes in.
Hashing. Okay, you might have to walk me through this one.
To think of it like a digital fingerprint. Each block gets its own unique code, a hash, based on all the info it contains. And even a teeny tiny change to that info totally changes the hash.
So it's like a tamper-proof seal. Someone tries to mess with it, it's immediately obvious because the hash is like, nope, something's wrong.
You got it.
Yeah.
And to actually link the blocks, each block's hash is included in the next block. And that creates the unbreakable chain, a trail of like digital breadcrumbs all the way back to the very beginning.
It's a pretty genius system when you think about it, but it seems very open. Is there only one type of blockchain, or can it be, I don't know, structured differently?
That's a great question. Blockchain has actually evolved to fit different needs.
Yeah.
So you've got public blockchains, Bitcoin's the famous one. Those are open for anyone to join.
So like the internet of blockchains? Anyone can hop in?
You could say that, but
Yeah.
then you've also got private blockchains, which are controlled by just one organization.
Ah, so it's like a company's internet, but with blockchain tech.
Exactly. This gives them more control, over who can access the data, what it's used for. Really useful for internal stuff or supply chains within a company.
So we've got public, we've got private, both built on those same core ideas, but with their own little twist.
Right. It really shows you how adaptable this technology is. But of course, like anything new, there are always, 2 sides to every coin.
Totally. Let's talk about the potential downsides, because our articles today didn't shy away from those.
And it's important to acknowledge them, right? We've
Yeah.
talked about the efficiency, the security, how transparent it all is. Those are huge, especially for industries where fraud's a problem.
No more waiting weeks for a bank transfer to go through. Oh man, reminds me of that time I was living abroad. What a mess. But even beyond just speed, it seems like blockchain could really even things out for folks who don't even have access to traditional banks.
Absolutely. Investopedia, they were really strong on that point. With blockchain, you don't need a bank, you just need an internet connection. It opens up so many doors for people who've been shut out.
Seriously, powerful stuff. But then there's, the environmental impact. Big concern with Bitcoin, all those computers mining coins, using up energy. Is that an issue with all blockchains?
Yeah, it's a valid concern, especially for proof-of-work systems like Bitcoin. Those need a good chunk of energy to validate transactions, add new blocks. But the good news is people are working on it.
Investopedia talked about solar-powered mining farms. Those actually a thing.
Hey, got to start somewhere, right? People are getting creative with renewable energy sources for blockchain, which is great. But it's not just the environment, there's scalability too.
Scalability. So what happens if, blockchain blows up, everybody and their grandma wants in, the whole thing just grinds to a halt?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
As these networks grow, more transactions happening. Yeah, things can slow down. Think rush hour traffic, digital addition.
Yep.
But developers are always looking for ways to make it faster, more scalable, so it can handle all that.
Sounds like a lot of problem solving on the fly. This isn't like a finished product by any means, is it?
Not even close. And with any tech this new, you got to consider the potential for, people using it for shady stuff.
Yeah.
The Silk Road, that online black market using Bitcoin, that's a prime example.
Right. Even with the best intentions, there's always someone who's going to try and find a way to exploit it.
Sadly, yeah. Important thing is blockchain itself isn't inherently good or bad. It's a tool, and like any tool, you can use it for good or bad.
Right, like the internet, right. Connect people, educate people, but also spread misinformation like nobody's business. It's all about how we use it.
100%. And that's why it's so important to actually understand how this tech works, what it can do.
So where do we go from here? What does the future hold for blockchain? Revolution in the making, or is this just a flash in the pan?
$1 million question right there. It's still early days, but the potential, it's massive. Finance, supply chains, voting, we talked about those. But that's really just scratching the surface.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it. What else is out there?
Imagine a world where all your medical records are completely secure. Only you and your doctor can access them. All thanks to blockchain. Or what about smart contracts? Streamline business deals, cut out the middleman, no more mountains of paperwork.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. Those are some seriously cool applications. And if that's possible, what else haven't we even thought of yet?
Exactly. And the more we understand this technology, the more creative we can get with it. We're really just getting started here.
It really feels like we're on the edge of something big here. Makes you think, what else is blockchain going to shake up? What other industries, what other systems are going to get complete makeover?
And it's not even just the tech itself, It's about changing how we think about things.
Right.
Trust, how we exchange value, even how we govern ourselves. Big stuff.
It's like we're rewriting the rule book, and it all comes down to this, chain of digital blocks? Kind of wild.
Exactly. And that's why these conversations, they're so important, right? The more we understand blockchain, the more prepared we'll be for the changes it brings. The good, and let's be real, the not so good.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, as they say. And speaking of knowledge, wow, we really covered a lot of ground today, how blockchain even works. I'm telling you, that digital fingerprint analogy, genius. To all the ways it could change things. I mean, food safety, healthcare, the list goes on.
Right. It's pretty amazing to see how this one technology has got everyone thinking differently, coming up with new ideas across the board.
So as we, wrap up our deep dive into the world of blockchain, what's the one thing you really hope our listeners take away from all this?
I think the biggest takeaway here, blockchain, it's way more than just some buzzword. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about changing how we think about trust, about transparency in this digital age.
It's about taking control back, putting power in the hands of individuals, and realizing, hey, this isn't just some techie thing. It's something we can all learn about, we can all be part of.
Absolutely. Entrepreneur, artist, doesn't matter. If you care about the future, blockchain matters.
So to everyone listening, dive in, explore, don't be afraid to ask questions. Who knows, you might just stumble on the next big blockchain breakthrough.
The future's out there, right? We're building it, one block at a time.
Love it. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder those possibilities. This has been the Dip Dive. Thanks for going on this journey with us into the world of blockchain. And until next time, stay curious.